There. Up, but not out. Never seen half as much food as this. Underground, there's half as much food as this.
Yo, weird.
Oh, boy.
Ready to do a little
Little showy show.
hot indictment
I see
summer.
your flag just a little bit. Is he getting indicted today?
That's what I hear.
Hmm.
You can deal with that flag. I
Yeah,
gotta figure
that's fine.
something out on that. Hot indictment summer part 3.
You should move your light. Move your light to like your ceiling, you know?
The light is hanging from the ceiling. With
Yeah, but not
with
so much at
bolts.
an angle.
With bolts. So I don't know really what I can do. The problem is it doesn't matter where I put it because it comes like toward the camera. There's going to be light on the camera.
Yeah.
I got to get like a real flag. This is a piece of paper. I think it's an old airline ticket that I bent and I put a piece of gaff tape on.
That's funny.
I guess I can turn the music down. Here we go. All right. I just wanted to put out a quick bat signal before we really got going here. Is anybody even around? I haven't even looked.
Is anybody
here?
even listening?
Probably not. Maybe we haven't been advertising anything lately, so
It's
see
okay.
who shows up today. Slow summer.
Do. Only one person watching, and
Is
Oh,
that
boy.
me?
it's probably you.
I'm going to... Let's see. Man, I took a Zyrtec and I immediately stopped itching.
Really?
What am I allergic to?
It's called Texas.
I guess so. This doesn't happen to me in other states.
Yeah,
I
same.
don't know what it is. I'm in the wrong Slack. Here we go. Bat
Oh,
signal.
allergies hit me really bad while we were in Virginia. Like
Really?
it was all the dirt that was being thrown up from the golf carts.
All right. Put out the bat signal. Gonna do a little Facebooky book.
Boy, it's gonna be a busy month.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What am I looking for? Mograph.com.
We have a show next week, but we don't have one the week after, correct?
I am not here next Monday. We should figure that out.
Oh, okay.
I'm in
Yeah,
Vegas.
because then
I'm
we'd
in
be
Vegas.
off 2 weeks.
Yep, I am in Vegas.
Unless we do a show at SIGGRAPH, but I don't know if we really want to do a show at SIGGRAPH.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We could just, what's up, Chris H? What's up, Blue? We could just, get in front of the camera at the booth and do like a short show.
I don't know. I might. You know what I did? I made that evergreen, right? And I edited it, and I put a little thing in front of it when we were at Beeple's place, and made it its own episode. And then
Oh, okay.
I was going through the other day, and I was trying to edit the episodes, and something was off with what I had online. I'm like, how am I off an episode? And I realized that I edited that episode, and I exported it for an evergreen,
never
and I put the
posted
tag. I never posted it because
Oh,
we were.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's next week.
Yeah. So, something
What's
like
up, Thomas?
that. All right. I think we're good, though. Let me bring up my notes, and we'll get going. Short show today.
Always.
It's the summertime, you know?
Yep.
All right, here we go. What's up, and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt. Joining us is no one. It's Hot Boy Summer. Hot Mograph Summer.
Hot boy summer. Hot indictment summer. Hot Mograph summer. One of those summers. This is part 3, where we are taking it easy for the summer and just kind of not sweating too much about getting guests and getting all
I think
fancy.
we realized that next week, actually the next couple weeks, because we'll be in SIGGRAPH and Dave's on vacation, we actually probably won't have a show for a couple of weeks. So
it's possible. I mean, we might do something on a different day.
Maybe.
You know, we could do something next week when I get back in town. I'm going to Vegas.
Yeah.
I know it's like, why are you going to Vegas after being there 10 days or more this year already? But it's more of a hangout and bring the kids type thing, you know, go do the fun stuff.
What day do you get back?
Monday.
Monday
the
31st. We could do one on the 2nd, you know.
Is that
like
a Tuesday?
That's a
yeah,
Wednesday.
As long as it's not a Tuesday.
Because I leave on Thursday, you know, to go get my dental work in Mexico.
That's right. Let's talk about that. We didn't even get into the spiel. Let me do the spiel real quick.
All right, do the spiel.
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, artist suggestions, show topic ideas. We're on mograph.com/TV, youtube.com/mograph. That's the first time I've done that without looking at anything.
I was about to say, you that's pretty good.
So the second part, the questions, comments, concerns, grievances, I can do all that on my own. But the intro, I've, like, for some reason, I just have never done it without looking. But I think I did a pretty good job.
I think you did great.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
So turn on Mograph TV, rip the knob off. We've got a couple things coming up. We're doing a little bit of the SIGGRAPH thing. I've got to send the gear out this week for SIGGRAPH. Make sure that's heading out to old LA. If you're going to be at SIGGRAPH, I hear that there are some parties. We are not particularly throwing our own parties, so we cannot invite anyone officially. However, if word comes down through the grapevine and you end up coming to a party, I bet we'll be at the same party.
Odds are. Yeah. There's a very good chance.
Not allowed to talk about it.
Nope. Not right now.
I'm pretty sure it'll be a pretty open party from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So there'll be lots of fun to be had, and I'm going to be running around taking care of a couple different things, doing some shoots as well, doing some interview stuff, working on some fun stuff like that. Matt, I don't know where we are website-wise, if there's anything you want to talk about yet. But
no, not yet. But I've got a meeting with the web people tomorrow. But the exciting things coming here in the next few weeks, potentially few weeks.
You say that all the time, Matt.
I know I do. I have
for
said
5
that
years
so
we've been saying
many
that.
times for the past 6 months.
Someday we're going to come out and tell the story of what happened behind the scenes with all of this. People are going to be like, "Good Lord, I hope it's successful."
You know, I've been going through and testing the new site, and I'm very excited about it. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be very helpful for our entire, for all artists and stuff.
Or industry.
So, for our industry as a whole, and then some. So, you know. Yeah, we're rebranding as X.
As X.
As X.
What is that?
You don't know that? That's Elon Musk. Elon Musk is changing the name of Twitter to X.
Oh, he is? I didn't hear about this.
I think so, yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. Because he's stupid.
It's weird. Why are you going to change his... Now, does he own X?
I have no idea.
Doesn't somebody we know own X?
I have no idea.
I think someone we know might own X.
Maybe.
A different X. Huh.
Yeah.
So as far as camp, I think we talked about a lot of the other stuff going on as far as the world of meeting up in real life.
Yep.
So yeah, SIGGRAPH, we're getting ready for camp because it's coming up so quick. Yep. Worked on so had a little birthday party for my brother this weekend, and so Julie put out a sparkle bar. We tried out some of the cool lighting effects and things we're going to put on the bar, and
look cool.
Some really cool like art stuff. So whenever you go to grab a drink, Colorado outside, nice crisp air, be a nice like spacey vibe.
Nice.
Yeah. These little LED curtains that Govee makes are so
cool.
You can put little GIFs through them. They're super low res, but like it does the trick, and you can like link them together. And you know, I think I mentioned when we did our patio a couple of years ago, I put LED lights in them, and they were you know, just cheap whatever, and I've had to replace them a few times, even though they're outdoor. Like they've like burnt up and started on fire and things, and like I mean, I have a separate GC, whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about. The ground fault. GFC.
Ground fault.
Connect. Whatever it is.
GFDI.
GDI. GFC. GMC. So I have like separate fault things outside in line with those just in case, and it did its job. I was actually sitting out there with Julie, and I heard, and I look, and this box that I had under my barbecue grill was on fire, smoking, and then it went out because of the ground fault that I put in. And I'm like, man, these are supposed to be outdoor lights.
Yeah.
So messed up. They just don't.
Yeah.
So Govee makes these light strips that are so awesome. And they're made for outdoor, and they've got this rubber coating on them that is so good. It feels it's that very soft rubber, and so you don't see the individual lights. You see just nice, very, very vivid light. I've never seen. I've never seen light strips that look this great.
Yeah.
Like they're so vivid and they look so good. So we're bringing all that to camp. It's like going to wrap around the bar. There's some art projects. There's some holographic stuff. Fake holographic stuff I'm working on, and
we got to figure out how to. So we just bought some projectors as well.
That too.
We figured. We found some. Dave found some good cheap projectors. What's funny is it says 15,000 lumens, and then you look further down and it says 9,000 lumens.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so I have no idea. But honestly,
that sucks because I got it because it was twice the price, but it was twice the lumens of the other one.
Yeah, I mean, this one is way better than the $60 one that I bought, but like it's really good when you've got the lights just, slightly dimmed or whatever, and we were projecting it onto my kid's wall, just to test it out, and the quality was really good. It was really nice.
Well, my daughter was having just an absolute terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day yesterday. And it was just, no nap, just complete breakdown, just everything's awful. And I pulled out that projector and like, check this out. And I start projecting Elmo around the room. And then we took it. We say, hey, you want to put it in your bedroom? Yeah. She comes upstairs, putting Elmo on the ceiling. Yeah. It was a good distraction.
She's still in a crib? Or is she?
She's never really been in a crib.
Yeah, yeah.
She's in a floor bed. And it's something you do and like you just can't get them to do the crib.
Yeah.
It's like surrounded by sides. It's like a gigantic playpen, so you can lay in there with them. Because that was the problem, is every time she'd fall asleep in your arms, you put her in the crib, she wakes up.
Yep.
Over and over and over. She still doesn't sleep through the night. She's almost 2.
Yep.
I don't think she's ever slept through the night, and she's almost 2.
My kids, a few weekends ago, my kids actually, like, slept in and didn't bug us once they woke up.
Mm-hmm.
I slept in until noon.
That
nice. Hasn't happened since before I had kids.
I slept until 11 after my brother's birthday party. I drank a lot.
That's funny.
So it happens when you put Fireball in your Angry Orchard. But, so I don't think she's ever slept more than 4 hours without waking up in her entire life.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe someday.
My kid wakes me up every morning between 3 and 5. To take my place in my bed, and I go and sleep in his bed every day.
Why? What's the point?
Because it is. I'm such a light sleeper that if I take him back to his room and lay him down and then come back to my bed, I will be wide awake at 5 a.m. or 3 a.m. or whatever, and it'll take me an hour to get back to sleep, versus just getting up, dozily walking to his bed and falling asleep. It still takes me a little bit to get back to sleep, but it's not as long.
It's just been such a long summer here as usual. It's just all this stuff.
Yeah.
I had air conditioning problems. I had to replace an air conditioner, and it's still hot. Upstairs is still 77, 78 degrees if you run the air conditioner 20 hours a day or more.
Jeez.
And now it's running 10. Got radiant barrier installed. Super expensive.
Yeah.
Like I said.
So worth it, though.
Well, it is. But
it'll
goodbye
pay for
hot
itself
tub fund.
in no time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$900 electric bills here in Texas.
Yep.
I mean, the 107-degree sun is just pounding my office.
Yeah.
It's insane. So, So that's been rough. The family stuff has been rough. I was telling you before the show. I did mention a couple weeks ago, I think, my dad has been in and out of the hospital since March. I think officially now has Parkinson's and early onset dementia. So him and my grandma both have dementia at the same time, and my mom's taking care of him. And the other day, she called me when he got back from the hospital. He was doing fine, but she was on the floor about to pass out. So, I had to go to my parents' home and find, my mom and dad and grandma basically all incapacitated. And I was just kind of freaking out. I was just freaking out. I was just like, this is... What do you do? What do you do? So
no kid should have to deal with that.
We're working through, luckily it was just a kidney stone. And I say just a kidney stone. I mean, that's a pretty easy fix, because we were just talking about it the other day. My mom, what if something happens to you? There's not a lot of options here. And so my brother and our families were all kind of going back and forth and dealing with that all this hot summer and just trying to make ends meet at the same time, and then dealing with the fact that we're about to be just full on show after show after show the rest of the year.
Show after show after show.
Out of town. Camp,
I was doing the math. I'm home about 2 weeks every month, with the exception of November. I think November's maybe only a month.
That's why we're doing the shows like this too, because I think we've always said it's good to keep the shows up. You don't want to take too much hiatus, right? On a podcast, you want to keep it moving. Even if we're super slammed, we're going to try and knock out a show, and then we're going to get back to guests here, as the fall progresses. Plus, you're going to have a lot of shows that are the live episodes from all of these events. So. Just kind of doing that. I think people like having just us every once in a while. So, you know.
We just hit 10 years.
We did. Last Sunday, I believe, was the 10-year mark.
I think it was Saturday. Saturday was 10 years.
Saturday was 10 years.
Yeah. 10 years is when we started
our first
doing
show.
All the online stuff.
Yeah.
It was our first show?
Well, no, it was our first tutorial, I think.
Yeah.
Was on that day. Yeah, when we launched the site.
Crazy.
So I do have some random stuff to talk about that I wrote down. I don't have too much.
Ooh, can I tell my my teeth story real quick?
Go for it. So you're going to Mograph early.
Speaking of medical issues, I was having some tooth pain. I always have tooth pain. It's just the price you pay for having really bad teeth, right? And not taking care of them early in your life. So I was having some tooth pain. And I was like, I don't know if this is going to get better or going to get worse. So I'm going to go to the dentist anyway. So I go to the dentist. They're like, yeah, you need 2 root canals, just on that side. So I'm like, all right, cool. Give me a price on it. Let's see if we can do it right now. I was expecting $2,500, right? And so she starts going into it. She's like, yeah, so this is going to be about $2,000. I was like, oh, okay, that's not bad. And she goes, and then we have to do the crown, and then we have to do this, and then we have to do that. And it's by the end of it, it was almost $6,000.
Yeah.
And I laughed in her face, and I said, are you kidding me? I said I could literally fly to another country and go get the dental work done and have a vacation for less than the price of this. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm actually I'm flying to Mograph early. I'm flying down to San Diego. I'm gonna
San Diego.
San Diego.
Agree to disagree.
All right. I booked an appointment at a really nice looking dental place down in Tijuana, and I'm going down there, and it's gonna cost me half the cost with the flights and everything.
But that's what they do. That's what they do is they have a place right over the border just for that.
Yep.
Specifically for people that just come in, and it's crazy, dude.
I mean,
so sad. What a sad state of our country.
It is. It's I support this Mexican. But yeah, so it's I'll be, if anyone's in San Diego wants to hang out, I'll be there for a couple days. I'm hoping, because I've got I basically fly in. I get there at 8 in the morning. I grab my rental car. I drive to my hotel. I drop off all my stuff. I take an Uber down to the border. I walk across the border. They pick me up, right? I have my appointment, whatever, right? Then I've got to get my crowns the next day because they can't do them at the same time. I'm hoping I can get there early enough to where they'll get me done, and then I can drive up to Anaheim and go to Disneyland for the rest of the day.
On all the drugs they give you.
Yeah. So
they probably give you good stuff there too. Guy,
when I called it, I because I really like, one of my favorite things about the dentist is getting the gas, because the gas just like, man, it's like just a whole nother thing. Like, that Futurama episode when Bender gets reprogrammed to like the new robots and stuff, and he has this whole adventure or whatever. That's what I feel like happens every time I get on gas. I feel like I'm being completely reprogrammed by all of you people and things. This whole, you're part of the machine, so you know what I'm saying.
I am part of the machine.
Yep. Anyway, so I asked the guy, I said, you guys do gas? And he's like, yeah, but you may be better just like getting a couple Xanax. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's Mexico. I could probably just go down to, I could just get a couple.
The corner store. No, you got to be careful with that. There's fentanyl in a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, so
anyway. That's where I draw the line.
I got my own supply. I don't need to, do that.
Get that from a legal doctor.
Right, exactly.
From a legal drug dealer.
So it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous to see how it goes, because I've never done this before. But man, if it works out, it's like, what is the point in staying in the United States to do stuff like that? I haven't looked
or
on
in general.
No,
I'm legit. If he who shall not be named wins the next presidency, who's running on a platform of autocracy, we're probably moving. And I'm not kidding. We're probably going to move to. We're thinking about possibility of Mexico. So,
really?
Yeah. So
I've heard good things about Mexico.
I mean, we got some motion graphics
I'd probably move
friends.
Somewhere in Europe. Yeah.
Well, I would love to go to Iceland, but that's expensive.
Yeah,
but I feel like you could get a decent place in Mexico. I feel like we got friends down there that we could head up. We got many motion graphics friends, at least 3 that I know of, right?
Yeah.
Like who's that? Dan Marino's there.
Yep. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Who else is there? Devin is there.
Mm-hmm.
And who else do we know in Mexico?
Other people.
Other people.
Yep.
Yes. I feel like there's someone else that we know in Mexico. Of course, Polygoon.
Yeah.
Yep. Polygoon. How do you spell Polygoon? I haven't. Let's see.
I haven't heard from him in a while.
Polygoon.
So.
Why can't I find any of it? Oh, here we go. Yeah, Emiliano. What is his last name? Let me see if I can find it. His profile pic. I forget his last name. I mean, I know his last name kind of. It's like I don't want to mispronounce it. It starts with a T. I'm terrible. Well, I won't be looking up him when I go to Mexico. I can't remember his last name. I feel like a terrible friend.
You are a terrible friend.
Yeah. We know a lot of people in this industry.
We do.
There are so many people we've met along the way. It's pretty nuts. And sometimes we go back and look at these episodes. It's like, wow, we did an episode with that person?
Yeah. I know.
It's all a blur.
I always feel bad about that. Like, there has been 1 or 2 times where someone's like, oh, yeah, I was on the show. And I was like, oh, you were? I'm sorry.
Well, a lot of them, a lot of the guests all book, and you show up and you're like, who? I've never met this person before. And, that's understandable. It's tough. I feel bad, though. Like, I feel bad with anybody that I meet like that I've met for, like, 30 seconds. I shouldn't feel bad that,
Emiliano Topete.
Topete. I knew. See, I had it almost right. I feel bad, I'll meet somebody at something for, like, 30 seconds, and then I'll see him again. It's like, yeah, we met before. And I'm like, I'm awful. I feel awful. I shouldn't feel bad for not remembering somebody that I met for 30 seconds, but I still feel bad, because we go to so many of these.
It's something where, like, especially being in charge a lot of a lot of these events and stuff like that, you meet so many people.
It's like a wedding.
It's really hard. Yeah. It's really hard to keep everyone straight.
And we don't even do that much compared to some people. I mean, just imagine people who go on tour, like big time, and are just everywhere and barely remember where they are or what day it is or anything. Like, I can't even imagine. Like, I would feel so bad about, like, meeting all these people and not remembering who they are. You know, but I guess
I'm really good at faces. I can remember faces pretty well, but I can't remember names if they
that's how I am too.
Literally tell me their name 4 times.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, Emiliano can't remember his last name, but I know everything about him and Polygoon and how great an animator he is and how good he is at character animation, but I can't remember his last name.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yep.
So, got a couple things on the list for this week to talk about. Number one is just like a random thing that I figured out in Cinema 4D by accident.
Awesome.
I think I told you about it.
Yes.
Do not.
Did, yeah.
I don't know how anybody works in cinema with like a camera that is not keyframed. And I'm talking about, like, I go out of my keyframed camera and do work and such in perspective view. But I kind of work in kind of a mode where I purposely have a keyframe on a camera, even if it's not moving, so that it's always in the same place. And I'll scroll around and I'll rotate around. And I know if I hit FG or GF, it'll go back and forth to the frame and snap back to where it's supposed to be. And then I can look at what I'm doing. However, sometimes you'll be working on something and you'll zoom in and you'll rotate around an object. And then you'll want to change something, but you're on the wrong frame. And you know that if you click on the frame you want to be on, that the camera's going to snap back, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to have to go maneuver back over there. Well, by just some weird, like, intuitive, like, muscle memory thing, the other day I held down Alt and I clicked on a different frame. It will not move the camera.
It's cool.
Camera won't snap back. So you could be in an area working on a piece trying to make an adjustment, Alt click, flip to frame 30 to frame 60 to frame 90, whatever. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. And
that is pretty neat.
I also wanted to bring up something that I just heard this morning, and I feel like more people need to know about this. It's about BOI. Boy. Have you heard of Boy?
No.
BOI is a new LLC and S corp tax filing that you have to make starting at the beginning of the year. Now, I found this out on Brett Lewis. I found this out on TikTok, and I'm thinking, why do I have to find this out on TikTok? And I start looking it up. Now, there are lots of, like, empty corporations and LLCs and things, and sometimes you file an LLC and you don't do anything with it for a while. You know, I think we have 2 LLCs that just do nothing right now because they're waiting for things and whatnot. You know, one of them we need to just close down. And so they get a little weird, I guess, about, you know, is there money laundering going on between companies and things like this? So there's a new tax filing that you have to do that basically outlines what your involvement is in the business and, like, it's weird. So I did not hear about this. And here's the reason that people should know about this. If you don't file, you get fined $500 a day that is not filed.
Jeez.
So I'm just trying to make people aware. I don't know even all the details of what this is and why, but I'm assuming...
sure it's, like, everywhere?
In the U.S.
Well, you sure it's everywhere in the U.S.? It's not just a specific state?
No, this is a federal thing.
Huh.
So, you know, it depends on what kind of company you have. It depends on a lot of number of factors about, like, how much the business makes. And it's just basically to keep tabs on people so you're not money laundering. I don't quite I mean, that's what they say it's for.
Beneficial ownership information reporting. Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't quite understand all of it. I'm looking at the details, but I'm trying to warn people because I'm like, why am I finding this out on TikTok?
Right.
I mean, I guess that's where you find out all your information these days. But
honestly, like, I learned all about so Texas just passed did you see that they passed what is it? The property tax relief thing?
No.
What's this? You didn't. So with the homestead exemption for Texas, you know, it was they'd knock off basically $40,000 from they just upped it to $100,000.
Really?
Yeah, so that'll save you maybe a couple $100 a month.
Wow.
You know,
okay,
which is pretty nice. But
I'm getting back a homestead exemption tax as well because I filed late, so they're backdating it 2 years. So maybe my mortgage will go down.
It probably will. It probably will. I expect everyone's to go down at least a little bit. And then within that same bill, there was the what is it that we have to file all the time? That's always
franchise taxes.
Franchise taxes. Now you don't have to pay franchise taxes until you reach like $2 million or something like that.
Oh, it was already
like $1 million, but and now it's like $2 million.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm never gonna have to worry about that. So
you never know. Maybe. Mograph.com, this new website may do really well.
Yeah. Maybe we should file in Delaware. I don't know.
Right.
So I was just going to say, I don't know if this is something that is going to be in, like, I know a lot of people will use a CPA or whatever. I'm sure your accountant will tell you what to do, but I feel like maybe this is something that'll also be built in if you're like a TurboTax person.
Yeah.
Maybe it will be built into TurboTax by default. I don't know. Or maybe Gusto will do it if you know, like, it's just something I wanted to put on everybody's radar so that they knew. The other thing I wanted to talk about was some AI stuff. I've been watching a lot of stuff online about, and I think I've sent you some about how you can do automated everything, like automated Instagram and automated post this, and a whole system to where it'll make a script for you and use your own voice even though it's not you, and then find stock footage for you and post it automatically. And this is the noise that I was talking about when GPT first came out.
Dude, there's so much.
Yeah, it's going to be just crap videos just with, and who knows, there's what do they call it, hallucinations. You know what a AI hallucination is? It's when
I took some bad stuff one time and probably had one or two of those.
Yeah, it's when something is essentially completely wrong. Have you ever tried to feed GPT something and you just get caught in this loop of not working correctly?
Yeah.
You're like, take these numbers 1 through 10 and order them in the order of 1 through 10. And it goes 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you're like, wait. I'm like, that's not the right order. My apologies. I didn't mean to make a mistake. Here it is again. 1, 2, 9, 10, 4, 3.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, look at this, and then look at that, and then tell me if it's correct. And double check it before you tell me. What is the order of 1 through 10? Well, it's 1 through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what did you give me? 1, 3, 5. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me try that again. 1, 3, 4, 7, 6. And you're like, bro, what is the problem? What is the problem? Now, that happens on a bigger level when it comes to giving you information, and that's why you have to be careful about this. It'll go through. I'll have it analyze something for me. I'll say, take some sound bites out of this transcript. And it just makes stuff up.
Yeah.
Or I'll say, give me a rundown of this episode of the Mograph podcast. And it's like, Ash Thorpe connects with Andrew Kramer on their podcast. And I'm like, no one ever talked about them.
Yeah.
Nobody mentioned their name. They're not in the show. There's nothing about them in here except it's a motion graphics podcast. That is a hallucination. And so there are lots of hallucinations. And what's going to happen is this noise, this garbage that's going on the internet, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's completely infactual?
Non-factual?
False, non-factual. I mean, more than usual, right?
Alternative facts?
Alternative facts. Now imagine what would happen if you put alternative facts on the internet.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of keeping an eye on that because they're talking about hallucinations and how that can affect things in a negative way, but how they're looking to get rid of it as well. And I saw like some interviews with like CEO of Google where he's talking about we can't even release what we have to the public.
Yeah.
Like it would be too overwhelming. It's insane to hear them talk about that.
Yeah.
And you see what they're doing with quantum computing too, and they're like, yeah, it's really hard to do however many qubits, without building a bigger machine and more power and more cooling, super cooling, all of that. But it's like, yeah, but what happens when you finally get the computer to the point where it can decide how to make a better version of itself?
Right.
And make better AI. And the big thing is you don't have to have a good computer to run AI, a trained AI. You just have to have a good one to train the AI.
Right.
So, for example, there is I try to remember the numbers. There's basically supercomputers, the biggest supercomputer in the world, something that would take 47 million years to process. A quantum computer can do it in like 60 seconds.
Right.
So just imagine the exponential curve that's about to happen on this. It's going to explode.
Yeah.
Now, I hope that it figures out a solution to all of our human problems and says, here, implement this and everybody can live without working another day in their life. That's what I hope. Here's the cure to modern medicine and everything else. Well, what I'm very interested in is what people are going to do when they start getting a hold of these large language models themselves, because a lot of it was limited to RAM before, and now it's not as dependent on RAM. People don't have a lot of RAM in general, but if you're running something like I think Llama or one of those, that's very dependent on RAM. And apparently what they're doing with Llama 2 is incredible, the way that somehow it's able to utilize RAM. So, and you can take it off your computer, or you can take it off the internet, put it on your own computer. Now that's where I feel like it gets interesting to me, because they're saying Llama 2 running locally is better than GPT-3.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's GPT-4 level, but imagine what you can do if you can run that on your own GPU, and you can just have it doing tasks all day. You're not paying for it. You're not worrying about the limitations. My question is, are there limitations and blocks in place when you run it locally?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because how you might sometimes I get that by accident, even with Midjourney. We've flagged this as inappropriate. I'm like, what's inappropriate? It says blue box with a face in it. Like, what is
blue waffle?
Blue waffle. Yeah. It's probably something like that, hidden meaning, right?
Right.
And you have to contest it. But I'm like, so can you just go all out and just like, how can I take over the world? With one of these, and just like, is somebody going to build like some crazy trained model, personally at home on one of these? And like, where is this stuff going?
Here's something that I'm worried about, because when Midjourney came out, I was really impressed with it, and there was at a certain point where it's like, okay, this is good, this is perfect, right? But now with Midjourney 5.2, I find like it doesn't understand the things that I'm asking. Like, for example, today I put in a picture. Well, first of all, so I'm looking for bones. I'm looking for like skeletons of like dinosaurs and stuff.
Because their bones are their money.
And it just makes shit up. It makes its own dinosaur, and it's all fantastical and like totally not an actual thing. And I'm like, well, this kind of sucks,
This is exactly why on Futurama they went to the history of the 20th century and it was all wrong.
Right.
Because AI is just making up our history now.
Right. So, but the thing is, it's like, I'm like, okay, well, fine. Okay, you can't do that. So I go and I find an actual picture. And then I put it in there instead of going into Photoshop, because I try generative fill on Photoshop, and I say, make this look like a sketched version of this, or like a picture drawing. And it just makes a random picture drawing. Like, I have yet to have Photoshop's generative stuff actually do something good besides doing like a content aware
is there other weights? Because it seems like it's a weighting problem.
I have no idea. But the thing is,
can you weight in Photoshop?
I go to Midjourney, I go to Midjourney and I put a picture in there and I say, turn this into a sketch. And so what it does is it takes that picture and then just makes something up and like adds faces and like
you have
angels
to just,
and like just whatever. And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm asking for.
You got to change the weighting. Have you installed Stable Diffusion yet?
No, I haven't.
It would make more sense. Like you would have more luck with Stable Diffusion locally doing what you want to do. Because you can tell it what model to use, for one. It has a bunch of models. You tell it what model, because you can pick what model is best for that, and then you can use weighting.
But that's too much work.
It's not. Like, it takes 3 minutes. It takes 3 minutes to install. 3 minutes.
All right. Well, then you can help me after the show, and I'll get done with your project
way
faster.
But it has like the imaginary scale. It's like how much imagination do you want to put into this? And it sounds to me like the imagination is up too high. Because when you bring it down, it almost is the same photo in Stable Diffusion. The more you bring it up, the more it changes.
I've got my stylized to low. Like I've had it on
Midjourney
low this whole time.
Midjourney is a little bit different. It's not.
I'm telling you, 5.2. I just like it is awesome at creating like really beautiful, fantastic looking art. But for doing something simple like that, I just don't think it can do it anymore.
Well, in Photoshop, there's a lot of tricks to doing the Photoshop AI right now. Like Hans is saying here in the chat. I know I sent a video or a TikTok to Jeremy at one point because he was having the problem too. And it's the problem of like, if you circle an area, like say you've got a beach and some water and you circle the sky and the water and you say, put a fish in here, it's not going to do it correctly and make it look under the water unless you like do some sort of like special like mask and put shades of gray and all this stuff you got to do to make it work. I mean, it is super beta, you know.
Yeah. And so every time. But, like, it'll just give me, like, a white screen with a few scribbles on it. And it's like, dude,
I don't know.
Come on. Photoshop, be better than that. Don't make me work harder.
It's going to be great when the models are fine-tuned. Like, this is the sketch model. And I'm sure you can do that already, really. But, I don't know. I'm more interested in video. But the stuff that you can do locally is what I'm interested in.
I feel like I'm spending a lot of time... and this is something I think I talked about this last week, where I'm trying to do like pixel art, with Midjourney, like using it for inspiration on pixel art, and I'm saying 8-bit, right? But it sees 8-bit pixel art as like just a generic term, not as I need this to actually be 8-bit art. Right. And pixel art. So they give me it gives me like just pixelated art, or pixel art or whatever. That's not actually 8-bit.
Well, for one thing, you got to get more into the prompts. Like, I think the reverse engineering is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Let's just say describe and put it in there and see what it thinks it is, and then maybe you can flip it and get what you want out of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Because using describe is a great feature. Because then you can say, automatically just make these prompts, and you can like take what you like out of the different prompts and make it work.
Right, but the problem is, like, if I say, describe this, and it's like a fossil or whatever, right? And I want a sketched version of it. I don't know.
The other thing is, there is, if you have GPT-4, and there's a plugin called, what is it called? Camera? Oh, no, I'm going to have to look it up. There's a plugin for GPT-4 that will do descriptions like that for you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really great because it helps you build prompts. It's called photorealistic. So you put it in that photorealistic prompt plugin into GPT-4, and it's made to generate photorealistic prompts for Midjourney. Okay. So you can tell it what you want and get a better prompt out of it for Midjourney. Copy that from GPT and put it into Midjourney. It's called photorealistic. It's a great plugin.
I'll check it out.
But yeah, Llama 2. Oh, here's a question. Okay, you've got the one that Elon is involved in, right? Dolly, Google. Is it Google and Elon who are invested in Dolly?
No idea. Is it Elon? That's
I think he has some money in it or something. But it's called Dolly, and Facebook's is called Llama, so it's Dolly Llama.
Yeah, it's so lame.
Is this on purpose?
I don't know if it is.
Okay, I'm just curious. I thought maybe they were messing with him or something. I don't know. It's weird. But I'm more interested in getting Llama 2 locally and seeing what it can do for me as far as productivity goes. You know? And I've also, in all of my GPT-4 stuff that I've been doing, I have been a little bit more natural language with Midjourney lately, and I feel like it's because at first it's like more like robotic, right? This thing, comma this style, comma this, comma whatever, comma photorealistic, comma octane render. Well, I'm being more descriptive, verbose, I guess. I talk to Midjourney more in the way that I talk to ChatGPT.
Yeah, I've kind of always done that because from what I understand, the way we describe something, you know, as humans, like we wouldn't say ball red, we'd say red ball. Right. So it knows to look for those descriptive words, you know, those adjectives before the noun or something like that.
Right. Well, if I use, for example, right now, I'm going to use GPT-4 with photorealistic. Okay. And let me just, I'm going to check that on, and I'm going to just say, give it something random and see what it tells me to use for the prompt it set. Because if I type purple monkey dishwasher.
Ooh.
I mean, I always wanted to know what an actual purple monkey dishwasher was. But, you know, if I bring this up, purple monkey dishwasher is a nonsensical phrase used to illustrate the concept of Chinese whispers or the telephone game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I recognized it from The Simpsons. Okay, I'm going to say build me a prompt. A prompt about purple monkey dishwasher.
See, now I just typed in purple monkey dishwasher into Midjourney to see what it gave me.
And I want to see what you get, and I want to see what photorealistic tells me. What?
Okay. Nothing. I'm just...
Oh, are you getting some already?
Yeah.
Okay. See, look what this is doing. A whimsical scene in a vintage kitchen. Centered in the frame is a playful monkey. Like, the monkey's fur should be highly detailed, each strand visible. Color should be rich, deep purple that contrasts with the chrome. It's even talking about what camera you're using with an EF 55mm. See what I'm saying? So like this, and it gives you like the style, it gives you the size, and it gives you like info on like weighting and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So now I'll put it into there, and we'll see what we come up with.
There you go.
What do you got for me?
No, it didn't go. Here, let me see if I can copy the link.
We were doing this with like mushroom scenes the other day. It was really cool.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. I'm interested to see if you can. So that was in ChatGPT that you were doing that
just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's with the photorealistic plugin on GPT-4.
Neat. Okay, so do. I was gonna say a sketch version of like a Stegosaurus fossil or something, right?
A sketched version.
Yeah,
of
a sketched image, like or a pencil sketch image of a Stegosaurus fossil.
I don't know how to spell Stegosaurus. Or fossil, for that matter.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm getting some back. We're at about 62% of the purple monkey dishwasher. Now, did you send me a purple monkey dishwasher?
Yeah, I just did. It's in the chat.
It's in the dingus? Well, if it's in the dingus, I can get it in the dingus.
There you go.
Let's see.
That's the link. There you go.
Where did you put it?
I put it in the dingus, and I also put it in their Discord chat.
All right, so this is purple monkey dishwasher for you.
Okay. I like that first one. That first one is pretty cool.
So it is a purple monkey in a dishwasher.
Yes.
The dishwasher is purple.
Yes.
Okay. Now, with everything that I put in, I'm going to bring this up. Is it done yet? Okay. Now I'm going to open it. Now this is what I get for purple monkey dishwasher. So it's not
a significant difference.
Yeah. Pretty big difference. And that was descriptive. Of course, it added stuff in there that I could have taken out if I wanted to. You know. What was the other one? This gave me a title, Nonsensical Request Illustrated. That's the All right. So Oh, here we go. The Stegosaurus. Okay. I'm going to try this first one and the second one, and we'll see what it I didn't do the second one before. But this has been interesting to do. I mean, I have been using
How much do you pay for ChatGPT?
I think it's $20 a month.
Okay.
But that's why I'm interested in Llama 2, because I'm like, you know, if this is going to take over a lot of this. The only thing is the link readers and stuff. I love that stuff. You know, it's working really well. They did take out the web interface, though, where it will also search the web. You can still go on Bing and do it, but I don't understand exactly why they don't. I mean, it says it's a temporary thing, but they haven't brought it back yet.
Weird.
You can't integrate Bing. So, all right, there's some stuff coming, but I bet you it's going to do the same thing. I bet you it's going to be like not correct. You know,
I'm sure,
but we'll see what it does.
I mean,
it's still processing.
Which do you think is more purple monkey dishwasher? The one that I did or the one that you did?
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I mean, it looks like some good stuff's coming up, but it certainly doesn't look like a Stegosaurus from what I can
see.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It looks like some sort of lizard. Now, one of them is like a lizard, and one of them is an actual sketch, right? So, I mean, the sketches look good, but it's still not a Stegosaurus. That's the problem. So here you go. Here's some sketches. This one, the guy's actually sketching it.
Yeah.
I mean, they look cool, but like these are not Stegosaurs. Like, what is this foot in the back?
Man,
and it's got a sword.
Looking,
Bro has a sword.
Right?
What is going on there? This one has like a little lunchbox with a salt shaker.
There's someone drawing it on the left.
Yeah. Now, if I could just feed it an image and get that same look, right?
You know, just like apply this filter to it. Wow, that is beautiful.
Now these, holy crap, that's great. But could you just like, if it were the right dinosaur, this would be perfect,
right?
And why is that an issue still? Fundamentally, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably type in sketch drawing of a human skull, and it would give you the correct thing, probably because it probably just doesn't know Stegosaurus, you know, anatomy very well.
But you figure it could, and that's what I don't get.
Well, if you look at this, most of it is, like, it's very similar to a T-Rex. You know, like all the ones that I have gotten have been extremely similar to a T-Rex. Man, that bottom left one is creep-tastic. I love it.
I know. And the fact that you could click on that and you could say, make me a million, infinite, billion variations of this. And you know what I mean? It's so crazy. Yeah. It's like you can make art for years of one thing, you know? If you want 1 million sketches of a dinosaur, you can do it.
Yeah.
So crazy. But yeah, so hopefully I don't know, hopefully some people get something out of this. It's just what we're learning right now, you know, and how to utilize this.
You know, I don't, as much as I just don't see, I've been using it for projects, and for certain things it is awesome. Like if I need backgrounds
all the time, yes.
Every single time. Like it is great for one of the things that I worked on. I needed backgrounds of like the Texas desert, right, with plateaus in the background, and so it gave me 4 different variations. I up-resed all 4 and then brought them into Photoshop, and I cleaned them up using the generative fill, and it worked perfectly, right? So I was able to use that as my circular whatever, and it worked great. But when I need super detailed stuff, it just doesn't work that great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
It's getting there, though. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. I am very, very interested in quantum computing, though. Like, it just blows my mind how it works.
Yeah.
The fact that they don't even basically know exactly how it works, and somehow it could possibly be accessing other dimensions. It's like, it's crazy. Because I don't know if you know that much about it, but essentially, instead of being zeros and ones, everything is both a 0 and a 1 at the same time.
Yeah.
And again, it's the parallel between going from CPU to GPU. What? Stegawordus?
Stegosaurus.
Stegawordus? Wait.
Stegosaurus, because it had a sword.
Oh, Swordus. Okay.
Swordus.
Stegosaurus.
I just saw that. It made me laugh.
Sorry. I did the other prompt from Purple Monkey Dishwasher. This is pretty fun, actually. I like these. Look at this.
Ooh, that one is fun.
This bottom left, man, it's freaking gorgeous. Man, so cool.
See what I mean? It creates beautiful art.
Yeah, ridiculously
But it's like when you need something finely tuned, it's only so good.
That's why you need control net or whatever, the stuff that Byron's been talking about.
Yeah.
I think that there's more fine tuning you can do with something like that. I believe. Yeah. I have not played with that at all. Did I send you
the video, or did you send it to me? It was the TikTok of the guy who he use Stable Diffusion or something like that to he created like a really crappy version of Master Chief,
Yes, he painted. Yeah.
Yeah, and then does a denoise in order to like basically make it more and more detailed.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it looks like Master Chief, and he didn't even tell it that.
Right. I think he did say Master Chief.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I love this photo. This is Purple Monkey. Now in my head, every time I hear Purple Monkey Dishwasher, this is what I think of.
That's rad.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like... I don't know. I have so many ideas of, like, fun things you could do. Really, there's no rhyme or reason. There's no profit in it. But imagine, like, you had screens, and every day you had a different theme in your house. And you say, today's Purple Monkey Dishwasher Day. And there's going to be, like, every minute it's going to change to another photo throughout the day like this.
Yeah.
And then the next day you pick another theme,
That'd be really fun. That would be a really fun, like, app or something.
Or a room. Imagine you had your room projecting stuff around, and it's just, like, infinite artwork going at all times. There's no profit in any of this. You know what I mean? It's just like,
I just want to be independently wealthy so I can just play around all day.
Right.
That's all I want to do.
Yeah, I want my room to be surrounded in projectors of Purple Monkey dishwashers.
Right.
Yeah. I don't have much else. I do. I can tell you that the newest updates that they've been doing to Notion are pretty super BA.
Are they?
I gotta say that. Yeah, it's amazing what it can do now. Like, as far as like if you have a project, you can put to-dos.
Can you link a live Google Drive document?
I'm not sure. I haven't played with the integrations lately.
See, that's
but there are a lot more.
What I want a 1-for-1.
I know.
Where it's like Google Drive and Notion
updating.
to where they read back and forth. So if you change one, it updates in Google Drive.
But you can do like tasks and stuff now. So like if something has the tasks within it, you can see the status within, and as you're checking off tasks, you can actually get like a bar that says 50% done, 75% done on this project because those tasks are done. And now also in the timeline view, you can, because you can go into projects now and say blocked by, like something is blocked by, or this is blocking something.
Oh, okay.
So I can't do this because this isn't done or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then it connects the dots. So like you can see right here. So now you bring up your calendar and it's showing what things are related to what and what you can work on right now. And you can go to actionable and be like, well, these are the only two things that aren't blocked by something else. These are blocked by, it's like, I can't update the website because I don't have the avatars. I don't have the avatars because I haven't locked in the panelists. I haven't locked in the panelists because I haven't emailed the panelists. And so it starts putting that together. So now actionable, I have to get the panelists and I have to build these sites. That's all I can do right now. You know, until something else happens. So I don't know. I really love what they've done. They've got tabs in here. You can tab them out now as well. Link things to each other. I would like to have like a master dashboard, and it's super nerd stuff. But I've just been so slammed that I haven't done any productivity stuff because there's no time to even organize my thoughts. It's just like what has to be done today at this minute.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm finally digging myself out of that a little bit. And now I'm like, okay, I got to get back to my lists. I got to get back to my tasks because I'm never going to get done what I want to get done this year if I don't write it down. It's impossible.
For sure.
It's impossible.
For sure.
We are probably going to get it out of here. We are going to be talking a lot about this South Carolina show pretty soon.
Yes.
Our year ender.
Yes.
I think if I haven't said this on the show before, you got to come to this. You have to plan December 16th to go to South Carolina, and we'll give more information. And as far as
it's
the contests,
going to be an
and
absolutely crazy show,
Yeah.
and you will not want to miss it. So put it in your calendar. Plan on being there.
And if this goes how we think it is, it's going to be a yearly thing.
Yeah.
Even if we don't tour the rest of the year,
Yeah.
you know, on other years, like this will be a yearly thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us for Hot Mograph Summer Part 3. Where we commiserate and just strive to make it out of this summer alive. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, half of my house is back in school. That's a good start. You know?
Yeah.
My wife and my youngest kid are back in school. I just got the older one here. He's grounded right now.
How is it almost August? What?
Yeah.
What?
Dude, the crazy thing is my kid doesn't start school until like August 14th. So I got like almost a whole month with him.
I was talking to my daughter yesterday. She didn't even know this. I was like, you know, when I was a kid, you would get out of school like the third week of May, and September was when you go back to school.
Yeah.
In September. The earliest was September 1st.
Yeah.
You would usually go back after Labor Day. Or something, right? Or somewhere around. Anyway.
Somewhere around there.
I was like, yeah, usually the beginning of September. She's like, September?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. She's going back to school August 10th.
Yeah.
Sucks.
My kid's August 14th.
Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, Amy is back in school. It's the 24th of July.
I know.
But you know what's crazy?
Used to have a summer. There's no summer
Here's
anymore.
something that's funny. So her school system... like the way they would pay teachers is teachers would start in like either July or August, but their first paycheck wouldn't be until September.
Right.
So for your very first, like your first year teaching, you know, your last paycheck or whatever of the year would be in August, you know? So they're changing that all around. And because she's been in the system for so long, she now gets double paid in July because they're now starting new teachers. Their first paycheck will be in August instead of September. And so they have to make, so I'm like, heck yeah,
that's
double payments, double paychecks in July. Because if a teacher were to quit, you know, at the end of the school year, they would continue getting paid until, you know, through August, even though people are already in school.
Right.
I don't know. I was pretty excited about it.
Well, let's get out of here. Okay. If you would like to support us in any way possible, we would love that. One way that you can do that is by simply just subscribing to our show, writing a little review on iTunes or something like that, help get our ratings up. Subscribe to our newsletter. You can even go to our site and check out some of the stuff we got on there, like youtube.com/live for upcoming shows, which is going to be a little empty until we get to the fall.
Yeah.
We really get a schedule back on track. But you can also go mograph.com/TV, and you can watch Mography animation shows all day, 24/7. Mograph.com/TV, Mograph.com/live, Mograph.com/classes. We do sell classes, yo.
Yes, we do.
So check that out. Check out the articles. There's some great articles on there right now. We're going to have lots of fun updates to the website later this year, hopefully. And what else? YouTube.com/Mograph. We got a TikTok.
Yep.
Check us out on TikTok.
We had someone email us the other day asking if we wanted mographs.com.
Oh, yeah. I didn't send them that. Yeah, I was going to say, could you tell me what mographs are?
What mographs are? She's like, it's about to expire, but I'm willing to sell it. And I'm like,
but what is it?
If I wanted it, why wouldn't I just wait till it expired?
Right. Because it's going to go on the market. Mographs. What are you going to put on? What are mographs?
I don't know.
I need a snappy response from ChatGPT for that one. That's why I hadn't responded yet. I could do it live on the air before we go.
Please don't. No.
Thank you for taking interest in us.
I'm so pumped about camping at camp.
Me too. I'm pumped about just camp in general.
Yeah. Camp is going to be so much fun.
All right. Yeah, but as far as everything else, you can say you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt with the Mograph. I'm sorry. What do we have? The Mograph logo tee, the Paul Babb Feel the Babb 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. The Render Things T-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee, the Mograph Blind Instrument shirt, and the That Render is Fire shirt, which you're only allowed to wear, ironically, unless you're shams.
Unless you're shams. Or who was it that hit us up about that?
Who else would it be? Who else would say fire? Patrick 4D. He might say fire.
He would definitely say fire.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say is if you haven't signed up for our Slack, make sure you get up in there. We have a Slack and a Discord, and they both have the same channels. But here's the difference. Slack is very, very active in all the channels. There's lots of people in there. Discord, we mostly use it just to hang out on video all day.
Yep.
With each other and check in on each other and make sure everybody's all right. And, how's your mental health, bro? That kind of a thing,
Yeah. My kid
or
just texted me. He said, "What does badass mean?"
What does it mean?
Yeah. I didn't know what he was saying. He put BADA star. And I was like, what does bada mean?
There's a whole bit on that. Did I send you that TikTok? There's a whole bit on he's a guy that learned English as a second language, and he's a comedian, and he's talking about how the word ass can mean so many things in English. Yeah. Like if something is badass, that's good. But if you're if you're a badass, that can be good.
Right.
But also what were the other terms?
Yeah.
Like
if a dumbass.
Yeah, if you're a dumbass,
There was also the one for shit, where it's like you're chicken shit, you're horse shit, you're the shit.
Yes, if you're the shit, that's good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get out of here though. I have nothing left. Until next time, I'm Dave,
and I'm Matt.
And thanks for joining us for Hot Mograph Summer Part 3. Have a good one.
Later, yo. You threw me off there.
Yeah.
You know what I love about Monster Energy drink?
What?
You can leave it out forever for like days and it still tastes good.
Gross.